with the Forest Service. I was in the engineering department of the Forest Service for 3 years, and I went over to the Cook County Highway Department.
It's a highway maintenance worker, which entails hauling gravel, blacktop, plowing roads, putting in culverts, putting up signs, a variety of different jobs.
Grader operator, heavy equipment operator. Maintenance worker 2, I think is what it was.
I've known John for many, many years, and he was the best friend I've ever had in life.
John was I met John when I was with the Forest Service, and I was working up on the Shoe Lake Road. And John and Fred they had the Hoagland district, and that's when I met him. And John was the blade operator, the blade operator for the East End. And him and Fred worked well. I mean, that's some of the best time I ever had working at the highway department was when I first got there. It was really a great time, to tell you the truth. We had a lot of laughs, a lot of fun.
I knew John since I was about this big. I mean, because he used to hang out with my uncle all the time. But when I was a kid, he actually lived with his first wife right behind us. He lived in a little cabin, and we lived in a house. And he'd take me hunting and fishing and stuff with him, camping and
indirectly, I didn't know him to begin with, but after a while, when he took over the grading duties in town, we worked together after that until his death.
There was another guy with us, but his wife had called and said there's a storm in Two Harbors, and it's coming this way, and she gave an astronomical amount how fast it was coming. You could see there was a strange line in the sky, and I seen those when I was growing up in southern Minnesota, where the storms were really bad storms and that. But it was just an eerie feeling, and everything just got calm, the calm before the storm. And it just opened up and the wind came up. The Gunflint Trail was basically shut down. The storm just came up right now, bam. And that's all I remember. I didn't think too much of it because down around Grand Marais there was a few things down, but it was up the trail where all the storm was damage was at.
After that, we tried to go up the trail to have dinner at midpoint there, and we got as far as Greenwood, and that's when we got blocked off. And right after that, is when Johnny went up with the grader to start cleaning off all the trees that were on the road.
Basically, John was that lead foreman because our supervisor, I think Chris, and our engineer Chuck was out of town that day, that weekend.
I remember there being piles of trees across the road, like some places they'd be 20 feet high. You know, we kept hearing that, you know, there was a lot of people hurt trying to get down and stuff, and we were just trying to get the road open enough to get the ambulances up there. I remember it rained so hard, it was miserable.
You've seen on the news reports and everything about all the trees that were blowing down and people were stuck in the BWCA, they were having trouble trying to get out, they were crawling all over trees. Where portages were open that you could just walk up and down, now the trees were down. And it literally just flattened, it took a swath and just flattened everything right down.
You had front end loaders, bulldozers. They did their best to open the road up as quick as possible so emergency vehicles could get through.
I know there was an awful lot of bad injuries. I mean, people with broken legs and things like that. There was a guy in the back of a pickup that looked pretty rough. Hell of a good man, through and through. I mean, I can't say enough good things about him. I mean, I could sit here and tell you true stories about the man for an hour, and all of them good. I mean, he was just a really, really good man.
And of course, John at that time was living with his two sons, and it was, of course, it was a shock to everyone, and a man that was very well loved by 99 9/10 of the people in this community.
Absolutely, that's one of my lasting impressions of John, is that when it came time to take care of his boys, he put everything in perspective and he knuckled down and he did take care of his boys.
The community reacted pretty sadly. I mean, we were going to be missing one individual that was very well thought of. And I know it affected me personally because I was a supervisor that day that he went out and started pushing that clay up. And after that accident happened, I decided I didn't want to be a supervisor anymore, and that's when I went back to being a technician.